a creative conversation.
We are.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, trust me, everything else in this video is gonna be way more interesting once you watch the full short, which is on the Corridor YouTube channel right now. So go check that out first, and then come right back here and resume from this point. Pause.
Oh, nailed it.
And now the video began.
Wow. He nailed it. Wow. He nailed it.
All right, today is a big day because we are doing the final day of pre-production for a little short film featuring Joel Haver. It's all about a digital double.
Yeah, the least represented profession on the Hollywood circuit. Abused, rejected, forgotten, and we're bringing them to light, finally. Joel Haver is a creator on YouTube, a very, very talented comedic actor and video creator. And in talking about a mockumentary style, very dry setup to an absolute ridiculous idea, he seems like the perfect puzzle piece for this. And so he's on board and excited, so he'll be here tomorrow. And we have basically one more day to get all the pieces in place, make sure that the tech is working, make sure that the locations are scouted, the script is tuned in. The tech side of this is bringing that PS1, PS2 graphical Joel Haver into the real world for a 3-4 minute piece. And he's in every shot. It's a really interesting situation because normally when you're working with like motion capture data or CG, you have a very curated list of shots that you're gonna get. And in this, in the mockumentary fashion, we wanna let Joel do what he does best, and that's ad-lib. So we wanna play with him, we want him to banter. And in doing so, we're gonna need really long takes with a ton of motion capture. So if we can't find an efficient workflow, this idea will not work. And Sam may have just done that.
We're talking about the electric pajamas. We're gonna stick with the tried and true Xsens suits. If we're only doing one actor, I think we can do this. I think we can pull this off. I also happen to figure out the full ins and outs of animating metahumans with Unreal. What's a metahuman? It's just basically a universal character creation thing. It looks good and it's compatible with tons of animation tools and I know how to use it. Also, there's an LOD slider, level of detail, which makes it so you can go from photorealistic all the way down to like a 4 polygon head guy. So I think we can use that. We can use the Xsens suits. We can do face capture. We can use iClone to do automatic lip sync. And also what's great is that we can just run huge takes, and if we're rendering it with Unreal, it's a footage factory. Sure, we can do final tweaks later. The point is that we'll have that underlying base footage to edit with. That's the promise with the whole Unreal workflow. It's so fast that you only wait a day or two after your shoot, and suddenly now you've turned all that CG VFX BS into usable footage instead. So you're editing with your VFX rather than editing for your VFX.
This all sounds great, but I'm gonna feel so much better going into tomorrow, like actually shooting with Joel, if we test it today.
We should do one full test, certainly. So, Sam, will you scan me?
I didn't realize I was going to be doing like the whole video for you guys, but it happens to be something I'm very interested, so I think our interests are aligning.
I'll tell you what, we kind of let him in.
This man to
we
fish,
pulled
Sam,
him in a
okay?
little bit. I will humbly offer my services for all the things that I know how to do, and I will come and I will learn to fish with the fishing master, if you'll have me on the boat, sir.
All aboard, matey.
Hey!
Come on. Okay. It's not the Titanic this time, but survived. The Britannic, that's the one I was thinking of.
All hail the Britannic.
Oh wait, oh shit. Damn, it sank. Whoops.
There's so much stuff we haven't figured out yet that we're committing to for this next 3-day shoot.
Look, let me just bring you an ounce of comfort. Just make sure you know what the hell you're shooting and directing, and make sure the script's good, because everything else from here on out, I'm pretty sure it's gonna work just fine.
Okay, so right now we are entering the first phase of our test of this pipeline, and that is to ensure that we can get a scan of Joel's head and convert that into a metahuman that we can use for basically the entire duration of this thing.
First things first though, I need you to clean up. You know what I mean? Just the thing is, we need a clear hairline. You know, we want as much of it as possible. So just like, if you just get your hair back.
I might have to wax the whole thing.
I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Do you have any hair product that I could use to just maybe run it back and just keep it there? It's picture day. I gotta make sure that it's looking crisp.
Follow me.
Should I take my shoes and socks off? Fausto! Dude, I am slick. Woo! I can just slip through any little crack or crevice right now, just slide on, grease on through. I'm not gonna pay you anything. I'm gonna leave. This is like the stuff of nightmares. Ready? Watch this. Oh, that. No one wants that. Oh. Honestly, man. Oh, wait, guys.
All right, looking great.
Oh, way.
You look like you're ready.
Hey.
It's perfect.
Oh, way.
Isn't it sad how this is how it'll be remembered in 100 years?
You said it's sad? Why do you say it's...
Polishing my lens so it's as crisp as possible. It's very relaxed, eyes open.
Italian Zen.
This photo scan we made of Jordan, look at this, there's his head. We're gonna take this and run this through the Mesh to Made a Human plugin. The goal is for me to show you a model and be like, oh, that looks good.
Oh, look at him.
Oh my gosh! That's so much better than I thought it would be. I mean, it's weird looking at it. It's like a living version of myself that I'd like to meet, but I also don't want to.
So day one. Day one is our big day. We have Joel coming into the studio.
Oh, Joel, wouldn't you need...
Oh, hey man, you look damaged.
Yeah, I feel damaged.
We're gonna do the same process that we did with Jordan in the test. So we're gonna start actually creating 3D Joel.
I'm excited to be Max Paintified. I have never been photo scanned in my life.
You just want to be completely still. It's going to take maybe about 1 to 2 minutes. As you can see, I've got to polish my lens. It's something I do every time.
Yep.
I was in it's kind of like meditation or sensory deprivation, you know, you kind of just let yourself go to it.
Yeah. Your mind really starts going. You start thinking about a lot of things in that silence.
I thought of some of the best and worst things of my life in those 2 minutes. Just really painful memories and really happy memories all at once.
We're gonna take that photo scan of Joel's face. We're gonna apply it to a metahuman.
Whoa.
No freaking...
I'd say it's pretty damn good.
You need skin.
This is what I look like the day I was born.
No freckles? No. Take those freckles away. Ooh, we should be doing like this kind of stuff.
These are my college days.
It should probably...
Civil War Joel is close to me in 20 years.
Once we have his character, we're gonna go into our first day of shooting. And this is all the interview stuff. This is a lot of the setup for this story here.
Have you done mocap before?
No, never.
Oh, really? Okay.
First time.
Okay, so, well, hopefully it's a good experience.
My soul will be sucked into the machine. I can't wait.
We're taking precise measurements of Joel, so that way the proportions of his motion capture skeleton accurately reflect his body.
Sometimes we all wish we could escape the real world for a while and go somewhere fantasy.
Right now we're capturing 7 different exposures of this lighting system so we can make a high dynamic range 360 lighting array that will just, again, further speed up this process. We want to be as rapid as we can.
We have our script, we have our basic beats, but it's really up to Joel to kind of bring his own comedy to it and do what he does best.
Hi, I'm Joel. I've been a professional digital double for 20 years now. When Digimon came out, imagine how I felt. Digital monster. Kids would come up on the street and try to suck me into their cyber, I don't know Digimon that well, but they tried to suck me into something, and you can imagine how scary. You can't make a Scorpion Man king without CGI, without me. I mean, you know what they say, God made man in his image, and we were made after man, so we're 2 steps from God. That's pretty good. How many steps from God is a dog? Many, other than the reversing the letters, but that's different. People see a dog and they're like, oh, a dog, I love dogs. You know how many times people have seen me and done that? You know, you had Lawnmower Man 2, Bicentennial Man, all sorts of men. You know, remember The Abyss, the water guy? That was my dad.
We need to know what our edit looks like before we have any idea of how many VFX shots we have. So this whole thing was meant to be like a 3-minute piece, and we thought it would actually get a bit tighter in the course of editing. But actually the opposite happened. Once we got Joel on set and filmed with him, it's like, the dude has so much to give comedically. He's able to riff on everything, and like, the only way to make it work was to let it breathe a little bit more. And because of that, and that means we have about 8 more minutes worth of VFX shots to do. So that's a little bit of a wrench, but I think we can do it. So now that I have the edit locked here, I need to prep everything for Sam to do his final Unreal render passes. Take by take, go through and isolate all the moments that we actually use in the edit that we're seeing Joel. And I'm going to just isolate the audio for that moment, right? So I'm gonna export him the whole take. It's a whole 5-minute take, but the only audio that's gonna be in there is just the moments Joel's talking. Put in some sync sounds for him, so it's like beep, beep, beep.
You get a digi-double in a movie in the 90s, that movie...
And then I'm gonna export that whole take.
Because you've isolated the parts where he's talking, it makes the process really simple. Like, in fact, like having that waveform, it eliminates having to clean up every second of footage that we, you know, captured. Right now we have a meta-human in a chair and he's talking and it's working really well. In fact, this is a very easy part of the process. Unlike the actual animation for the body, the face animation has to be basically streamed into Unreal Engine. It's kind of a weird thing. We're gonna start over in iClone. Nick has prepped these audio files, so you drag a little audio clip into it, hit generate text, and the computer goes through the audio file and converts all the speech waveforms into text, which you can then use that to animate the mouth because it is able to break the words down and understand the mouth shape it's supposed to be making at every part of the sentence. It's incredible.
How accurate is this normally? What'd you say?
It's like 60 or 70% accurate. Sometimes you get garbage and gibberish, but all I gotta do is go through and just double check it. So, and apply, boom.
People love it. We think that went great, that went great.
And we have a talking style editor here. Just gonna 200% everything, so it's really clear because he's so low poly. All the expressions are so muted, like getting the mouth motions like huge really helps. So there's one last thing, everything else on the face, and that one's super easy. Basically, I like to just cover it all up with a quick phone capture pass here. Open up the live face app from Reallusion. I basically do a facial performance pass on top of the lip sync.
I hear words like disgusting, disturbing.
That's it.
I hear words like disgusting, disturbing.
Perfect. Save. Final stage, to sync that back with the body. It's really easy. Since we're using this audio track in Unreal 2, I'm just gonna smack a hard face keyframe on here. So on the third beat, we do like a wacky expression. Boop. When I see that face, boop, that pop, I know to sync it to that beep. Now it's gonna be synced with the body. So, into Unreal. Looks like everything's linked up here from iClone. So basically, I just start recording over here, and I open iClone here, and I play.
I hear words like disgusting, disturbing, uncanny.
Looks good, man.
That's it, now it's in Unreal. We can combine it with our body data and hit render.
So I'm currently underway simulating away Joel's little limp body falling down this set of stairs, and that's actually the perfect segue for this video's sponsor, Polycam. For those of you who don't know, I actually used to be a visual effects supervisor on set. I used to do like TV, music videos, all that fun stuff. There's a few tools that I insist on bringing to set because I find them to be absolutely essential for the back-end work. And one of those is Polycam. For instance, with this shot of Joel falling down the stairs, I would need to recreate the stairs, making sure there's the right set of stairs, that they're the right height, the right length, all this stuff that I would have to take measurements for. But now, thanks to Polycam, I can LiDAR scan on my phone and get this done in 1/100th of the time. You can line it up to your footage very, very quickly, and you have perfectly accurate collision geometry, perfectly accurate reflective geometry that you're gonna pick up in any of your shiny objects. It is an absolute game changer. Go to poly.cam and use our code CREW22 to get 20% off Polycam Pro for a whole year. Polycam is available on both iOS and Android, but you must redeem this code on the web. This offer is good until the end of the year, so maybe consider giving the gift of Polycam this holiday season. And with that, let's get back to violently punishing the digital version of Joel Haver. So while Sam is busy handling all the interview stuff, Fenner and we are over here bringing all of Joel's stunts to life in a more traditional VFX pipeline. And a perfect illustration of all of this is actually the first shot, right? This is, in a way, the most important shot because we're being introduced to the character of Joel as a ragdoll digi-double. It's very crucial that we nail this one right out the gate because it's setting the tone for the entire short. You think about a ragdoll simulation, and you think about filming a plate for that. How do you cover it? How do you know what he's gonna hit and what he's gonna bounce off? You don't. It's important that you open up the flexibility. Our approach to doing that was to first create a super high resolution panorama of our entire scene, because then we can project that in 3D space, create a CG camera, and pan and tilt wherever we need to. It's total flexibility. So boom. Once we have our panorama on set, it's also important to get a couple other assets for the back end. The most essential being the 360 of the lighting of that space. That way we can recreate lighting very quickly and easily. And the other is using Polycam to get a LiDAR scan. You are getting perfectly replicated geometry with scale information built in and textures built in. So now what we have is real accurate collision geometry. And from there, it's a matter of recreating the garbage can so that he has something to collide with and something to fall into. And then the juicy part, rebuilding our beloved boy. Sam has this metahuman, this low poly monstrosity that he sends to us. We rebuild him in post, actually creating the ragdoll. We gotta give that boy his bones. And once we have that done, we get down to the funnest part to me, the simulations, right? We're just throwing this guy off the bridge. At the end of the day, when you're simulating, it's it's complete chance. And it took me about 3 hours of iteration to finally get him to flip, hit the wall with his face, drop onto the trash can, and literally fold over, almost tip, and then drop in the trash can. It was about 300% better than any sim I'd got to that point. And the only reason you get there is because you iterate. And once you have that simulation done, then you add the cloth. And since we have a finished simulation cached, as long as that starting frame has the clothes where they're supposed to be, those clothes will follow him on his already established simulation. And then once the actual sim and render's complete, you know where this shot's going. It's going to that guy.
So from Houdini, Jalen has rendered out all these different AOV passes that allow us to comp our digi-double of Joel into the scene. We have here our standalone Joel render, and we have our standalone background render. To integrate Joel into the scene, we go through a few different steps of basically matching his color values to the scene, making sure our shadow is integrated into the environment there. So we can see there's a little bit of shadow he's casting on the wall. It feels weird if you don't have that in there. And as he gets closer or actually impacts the wall, that is gonna get darker. From there, we have a simple stencil that we're using to kind of mask him falling into the garbage can. Honestly, a pretty simple comp setup, but simple doesn't mean bad. So this here is our final shot, and feels like a dude just got kicked off a bridge. And I don't know, man, it makes me laugh every time. He was born to do this, dude.
That's some hot stuff.
He was born to do this. It's the new TikTok dance, dude. Tell that
The Squid Kid?
The Squid Kid. But yeah, man, this workflow going from Houdini to Nuke and doing all your amazing ragdolls and claw sims, it's working really well for us.
It's a marriage made in heaven, I'll tell you. Do the Squid Kid! Jeez, Squid. I'm voting Squid Kid 2024.
Okay, look, we're at the final stretch here. We're all sitting down to watch through the cut. Sam went in, spiced up some of the angles. We're like so close to hitting export on this thing. It's been a lot of work to get to this point, so we would really appreciate it if you go over to Corridor right now, watch the short, let us know what you thought.
Obviously, a huge thank you to Joel Haver for bringing his skills over to Corridor. Check out his channel. He's absolutely hilarious. His sketch comedy is top tier, and it's definitely worth a subscription.
Corridor channel's really close to 10 million. Go subscribe to it.
Yeah, if you subscribe and you get us to 10 million, we get a button that's different than the button we have right now.
We get a new shiny button.
I like buttons.
Button.
New button.
Bro!
Like this doesn't.